This is my 4th episode of my time at Mustang Ranch.
So I had to take security to the gate and with my gun to the gate and had a face off with him.
Does your mom know you work at a brothel?
No, they're Mormon, so I'm nervous.
So what about this video? Do you get a lot of married guys?
Where does your wife think you are right now?
What did you say you do for a living in the magazine? Oh, hello.
Well, hello.
Do you mind if I film right now?
Oh my God, do whatever you want.
Okay, cool.
Make it look good, make me look skinny.
Is this your primary job, working at Mustang Ranch?
No, I'm a freelancer and a makeup artist, so I do that full time. And the cool part about the difference between what 20 years ago and to now is 20 years ago, I would have somebody sitting in my chair and I would say, you know, what brought you out here? And they'd be like, well, you know, my pimp this, or I, you know, with some kind of troubled childhood brought them, you know, whatever to the way of sex work. And then in comparison to nowadays where I'm like, so what brought you out here? And they're like, oh, I just finished my double master's in human health and sexuality. Oh, I have a master's degree in theater. Or, you know, like one gal, I was like, well, don't you ever want to use your theater degree? And she was like, I do every day.
True.
And I'm like, yeah, bitch, yes, you fucking do. You're like a working actor.
Wait, so what's your name again? I'm sorry.
Olivia Lush.
Olivia Lush. I'm Matt. Nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you. I got a cover of Playboy for July, and I did a cover for FHM Canada in May.
How did you get those? I mean, obviously you deserve them. You're gorgeous, but like, what's the protocol for getting something like that?
Well, I've been doing some modeling in Brazil before, and well, go through a lot of connections and selections and things like that.
Do you find that helps your business in terms of escorting? Not escorting.
That's legal. Use the word legal companion. Not
Legal companion.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm learning.
Yeah, escorting, it gets a little confused with the illegal work that there is out there. This is the safest and the most legal way to do it. Nothing against escorts, like each one to its own, but we just don't want to get things confused.
How long have you been a legal companion?
I've been in the business since 2016, and I've been with the Mustang Ranch since 2018.
Have you ever done this business not in a brothel, like illegally?
Olivia Lush has always worked in a brothel.
Okay. Got it. Do you find that the Playboy cover and all the covers you're doing has helped your business?
Definitely. Being with a Playboy bunny is a fantasy for a lot of men. It does tickle the imagination, that fantasy that many men have since they were young boys. It does make a difference.
What did you say you do for a living in the magazine, or is it just pictures?
I'm a model.
Which is what you are.
Exactly.
Have you been working today, or?
No, I clear in an hour.
Oh, I forgot. You nervous? No, I know you're
That
not.
reminded me yesterday when you said that. I said I hadn't been nervous because I was single for the last 6 months. It's really hard to date as a sex worker. The last time I tried to go on a date was in January or February of this year with a girl I met off Tinder in my area. And it was great. We went to sushi at like 7:30. We didn't leave the restaurant until like 10:30, and they were kicking us out.
Yeah.
We got pretty tipsy, and she's like, you know, let's go back to your place. And I had to be like, no, thank you. I had a great evening with you. I'm gonna pay for your Uber home, and I'll talk to you tomorrow, whatever. And she like got really offended.
Because if you hook up with them, then you're putting your job at risk, because then if you have something that you can't work, so you're not making any money, so you can't afford your bills. So it's like you're thinking about all of that when you just go on a first date with somebody.
Yeah, I had told her I was a sex worker at the beginning of the date. And I was like, you know, if you want to leave tonight and go get tested tomorrow, I'll pay for it. And then we can sleep together. And then you can't sleep with anyone else while you're sleeping with me. And she's like, oh, I'm polyamorous. That's never going to work. And I was like, well, it's not going to work between us because I can't have that. So it's a really big commitment to ask people.
Hearing Dase talk about balancing sex work and dating made me want to find a girl who was in a relationship who could share what that was truly like.
I keep a pretty low profile. I was in the military for 5 years. I served in the Marines, and then I did some work in the intelligence community. And I know how those crowds kind of operate, and so I'm definitely afraid of them
Do you still feel like that's like really a big issue, is like the judgment that other people have towards brothel workers?
Honestly, yes. I just started dating somebody that I knew from when I served in the Marines, and in a way they kind of embodied every single stereotype, and we had to like work through it and really talk about the difference between who I am as a person and who I am when I'm at work and the work I do itself.
For the time that you're here, the 2 to 3 weeks, is there tension between you two? Because he knows you're here, he knows you're having sex with men.
Absolutely.
Are you guys in constant communication about what your day was like?
We've kind of decided to take a step back from that. There's just certain times that we talk, like when he knows I'm off work or right before I go to bed, I try and send him a message. It's been really difficult to just release and trust that everything's going to be okay, and I'm still going to get the same like message tomorrow that's, hey, I'm here. I still love you.
You're worried that like this job could jeopardize something that you really care about.
Yes.
So what is your job here like? So because you do your own hair and makeup, right? So
Yes.
what do you do?
So every month they're doing content, and so they have me come in to do hair and makeup, and I take the girls' vibe of whatever they're, because I don't want to take them out of their bodies and look like something totally different. I just want them to look like themselves but better, because there's a different girl for every guy or girl who comes in here. So, you know, if somebody likes to be a little more edgy, I want to embrace that and bring it to life a little bit, but also look approachable so we can make more money.
Sex work was actually an option for me. I had a 6-figure salary in corporate, but one day I decided that life's too short to do something that doesn't make you happy.
And what made you think what's going to make me happy is sex work?
I've been always very attracted to the sex industry. I always loved watching documentaries late at night about Playboy Mansion, about strippers, about prostitution in general. And then things happened years ago that I lost people that were very close to me, very important to me. And I figured that life is too short to do something that doesn't make you happy, that money is not everything. And that being locked in an office from 9 to 5, 6, 7, 8, just having a nice bank account is not everything. We make a pretty good living here as well, so I'm not saying that I'm making less money now. I'm not going to get into numbers because I don't think it's nice to get into numbers, because people don't ask a doctor how much they make, don't ask engineer how much they make, so I don't know why people every now and then decide to ask how much we make. But I'm not saying that I'm making less than I was before.
I have been thinking the past couple of days, you know, because I agree that this is beautiful and it should be legal like it is, but would I be able to do it, you know? And I'm like, do you carry it with you when you leave it? Like, how do you mentally separate, or do you not?
I don't have a problem with it because I'm very selective with which parties I take. Not all money is good money. There have been people that I met and I was like, okay, very nice, but I don't think we're a good connection. Maybe I'll get someone else for you. I don't have a problem. I had a friend that once asked me when I went to meet her back in Brazil, and I told her what I was doing because she knew me as corporate. And the first thing she asked was like, oh my God, do you have a counselor? Are you doing like psychological work? Are you okay? And I was like, I'm doing better than you.
Yes.
Like, I'm pretty good, thank you.
Do you have gigs lined up tonight, or are you just gonna do the bar?
No, I have a couple of appointments tonight.
Are you excited?
Yeah,
Are there any times appointments that you're like dread the guy? You're like, oh my God.
absolutely. And then you get in the room and every minute seems like an hour and you've got 90 minutes left and you're like, oh. When they pay more than a brand new truck for your time, you're like,
Can it beat that much for like Okay.
The other day I was doing Madam Jennifer's hair, and she gets a call on the phone, and a girl is having, you know, she has a couple questions. She has a client, a guest here, who is a quadriplegic lesbian, and she's with her caretaker. And the girl who was asking, like, you know, what can I do to show her a good time? Like, I really want to make sure this experience is wonderful for her. You know, because you can imagine, human touch is important. It's not just men who are coming here anymore. They're not just men who are going to strip clubs anymore. Women are totally enticed by this. And she gave her all the steps to follow. She was like, any part of her body that she can still feel, touch it. Like, touch her face, caress her skin, like, do all the things, hold her hand if she can feel it, like, do all the things. The caretaker will help her get into the bed. She goes, take her to the toy cabinet, have her pick out any toy she wants, like, you know, like, really show her an experience. And in regular life, she may not be able to get to pick a supermodel like these girls. These girls are so beautiful and they come from all over the world to work here. So she's hands down getting a sexual experience, even just a human touch experience with someone who in normal world she may not have the chance to touch.
It's so interesting that you live in Vegas because I feel like that's a very popular place for sex work too, but then you fly here.
Vegas is a popular place for sex work, but that's illegal sex work, and orange is not a good color for me. I don't think orange is the new black.
Yes, I love that. Olivia Lush does legal work only. Do you feel like it's fair to give the house 50% of your earnings?
Absolutely, because they pay for the licensing, they pay for the house, they keep us safe. This is the most beautiful and the best brothel in the United States. No. I don't mind giving them 50%. I'm still making more than many girls I know working outside. Clients that come to a brothel, they come for a reason. They come because they want it to be legal, they want it to be safe. They know that we are tested every week. Despite the fact that condoms are mandatory, we are still tested, so there's no souvenir. The only souvenir they can take home is if they buy something at the gift shop. And that's how we like to take it. Or if they buy one of my magazines, and then I'm happy to sign it for them.
I asked Olivia what her normal schedule on Mustang Ranch was.
I usually do 1 week to 10 days.
How many bookings do you already have?
I'd rather not disclose that. I usually tell people the best way to guarantee to see me is through pre-books, especially because I limit the time of engagements I have per day.
How many do you do that?
I'd rather not get into that, but I try to limit what I do, so it depends on how many bookings. Like if I have a certain amount of pre-bookings, then I won't go to the bar or want to do the lineup.
How many can some girls do? Like, can some girls knock out like 10 a day?
I won't do 10 a day. I can tell you that. No.
Yeah, too much.
No,
Too much.
not even close to that. No.
Yeah.
But that's my choice. I'd rather do longer encounters, more meaningful. But again, that's my choice.
And there's more money in that, right? If you do a 3-day thing with one guy, that's a lot of money.
But it's a lot of quality time.
Yeah.
That's a lot of intimacy. That's a lot of memories that will be built.
How did you pick your prices?
I try to work with people, but I know what numbers are comfortable for me. If I go below certain numbers, I know that I'm not going to be happy with that, and then I'm not giving you my best. And then I don't think it's good for me, and it's not good for you. I usually say the better the number, the more excited I get. And if you want me really excited, what's the best you can do? Chivalry is sexy, generosity is sexy. I'm an old-fashioned girl. Generosity will take you a long way.
After my interview with Olivia Lush, I decided to try to get up to the old watchtower where Oscar Bonavena was shot from. The history of the Mustang Ranch truly fascinates me. The deaths and the scandals, but also the trailblazing that the Mustang Ranch symbolizes, being the first legal brothel in the States. I mean, it is so iconic that even Helen Mirren portrayed Sally Conforte in Love Ranch, which is based off of Mustang Ranch.
Brucer, my man! What a head of hair you got there.
Like the Beatles.
We are almost done with our time at Mustang Ranch, and I am so thankful you're all watching and loving. The response has been overwhelming, and I'm very appreciative of you all going on the ride with us with an open heart and an open mind. It is beautiful what you can learn when you approach life with that mentality. We will finish up the series with an episode about the dangers of working on the streets versus in a safe, regulated brothel like Mustang Ranch.
I have a pimp. This is a fish hook game, and that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to pull her.
Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next week.